I'm starting to think my diligence wasn't A1. Hey, don't worry if your diligence wasn't A1. I think this is another thing. I'm glad you brought this up. I'm thinking, you got a dozen leads, I think is what you meant. I think sometimes we beat ourselves up too much and we're like, I got into the wrong niche and I'm just going to kill it. No, don't kill these things off. Some just take time, right? We can't fake time. Sometimes you just need to have this thing out on the web a little bit longer and you're going to have to put a little extra elbow grease into it. But you know what? Those ones end up being payers as well. Okay. So don't give up on your rental home, just because you didn't get a tenant in it day one. Sometimes it takes some time, you got to go knock down the cabinets and put new flooring down and put a new roof on there and put some TLC into it before you can attract the right people to that rental. So keep working on that. Don't beat yourself up too bad about it. Secondly, like every strategy that we're training you guys in this program of how to rank works on a national and global level. It just takes more of it, right? So you could be in a tough niche, but it's not going to go as fast as an easy niche, right? It's not going to go as fast as low-hanging fruit. So you can get into those tougher niches and still follow the process, but it's just going to be a little bit longer amount of time for you to get where you probably want to be. So that's that. I haven't been able to finish all Tuesday's training, but got the impression I should build my lead gen sites first. Send leads to a business before asking for money. Correct? Mark, yeah. I mean, I don't even know Tuesday. I don't remember what I trained on Tuesday. But yeah, I mean, I think it was last Thursday, I talked about how to land a client without having a lead gen site. And then I talked, there's pros and cons. The bottom line is you should always be putting more shoes on the shelf, always be putting more stuff out there, because if you have nothing out on the web, exactly what I was just saying to Sarah, and you get into that niche, maybe you land that client up front, like the guy from last week that I had, it's going to take time for that thing to rank. It could be 60 or 90 days out. It could be 120 days out for all I know, right? It could take some time for me to get that thing moving, which is a good thing. But also, like, when you're ready to rip and you got that client, you want to kind of get things sped up. And so all I'm saying is get your lead gen properties out onto the web consistently, like almost like just commit to a number every month. Like, I'm going to get 3 or 5 or 10 or 15 of these things out on the web. But in the meantime, I'm also going to be getting clients through some of the strategies I spoke about on last Thursday's call of how to land lead gen clients without having any lead gen property up. Okay. When do you do rev share? Is the percentage off gross or net? Well, I mean, it's going to be based off what you negotiate. If you're a good negotiator, you negotiate it off gross. Whether or not they're going to do that, that's up to them. Now, the hard thing about negotiating off net, and I learned this the hard way when I sold my first business, was I got paid off the net of the business, and the asshole that bought my business knew a lot more than I did in business because he owned a huge oil. He was one of the, anyway, doesn't matter. And so he jacked the expenses up on the net, and then I never actually got any of that percentage. So it was a tough lesson for me to learn. But I learned it, I feel like, early enough in my career, like 27, 28, maybe it was 25. I don't remember how old I was. But it was a painful enough and expensive enough lesson that I'll never make it again. So if you're going to do it off net, you better have a clear understanding of what makes up the net expense. So for instance, if the business grossed, let's just say $50,000 this month, you might want to have clear guidelines of what the net is on the deal that you work with. So maybe you say, listen, off of the gross that I bring in, off the gross that I bring in, the only expenses that we're going to have on as line items are X and Y, or whatever they are, X, Y, and Z, and make sure they're fixed expenses that they can't jerk around with, and be like, oh, well, we raised our own salaries and we dropped we didn't make any money last month. It's like, no, you made money. You just jacked me. So just be careful on that stuff when you deal in a net deal, because unscrupulous business owner will take advantage of you like they did me. But I learned, and I won't do that again.